Hello everyone! My name is Jacob, and I'm here for Naper Pride's 12 Days of Togetherness to read a book called Bashirah and the Amazing Bean Pie. Just a content warning for any math nerds in the audience. This is about the food, not the mathematical constant, so just know what you're getting into. For everyone else, let's get to it. Boo, boo, boo. All right. Good morning, class. Teacher Nafisa stood at the front of the class in a beautiful gray blouse. Eid Mubarak. Today is Culture Day to celebrate our diversity. I want each of you to bring to school a dish that best represents your culture. The students stood up in excitement. Mustafa turned to Bashirah. I am going to bring jollof rice. I'm going to ask my Umi to help me make biryani, chimed Fatima. I'm going to bring bean pie. Bashirah smiled and rubbed her tummy. It's my favorite. This year, I'm finally old enough to help cook. My pop-pop is teaching me the family recipe. Everything sounds delicious, said Teacher Nafisa. I am looking forward to seeing all of you after Eid break. At home, Bashirah giggled and squirmed while her mother put on the finishing touches on her Eid outfit. Mom usually stayed up late the night before, making sure the entire family looked marvelous. Her mother tugged at the dress. You're going to get stuck with this pin if you don't stop moving around. I can't help it, Bashirah rubbed her sock feet against the carpet. I'm too excited about tomorrow. Mom placed a hand on her daughter's shoulder. One more wiggle, girl, and it'll be uneven, so hold still. How could anyone expect her to keep calm while thinking about all those presents, the fun, and the food? She could almost smell the bean pie already. Look how excited she is. Now, that should do it. Mom patted her on the bottom. Off to bed, Bashirah. We have to wake up early, so we don't miss Eid Salat. Bashirah tossed and turned under her blankets, imagining all the fun things she was going to do. All of her cousins were coming over after the Eid Salat to eat. Her Jeddah and Pop-Pop were on their way to help prepare for tomorrow's Eid dinner. She stared at the black ceiling. It's going to be amazing, inshallah, but I need some rest. She started to dhikr, calmed down, and began drifting off to sleep. Just as she fell asleep, the sound of a car pulling up outside woke Bashirah. Pop-Pop's booming voice drifted into her bedroom. Assalamu alaikum, family. Hey now! Bashirah hopped out of her bed and dashed downstairs. Surely Mom wouldn't mind. Wa alaikum salam, Pop-Pop. She threw her arms around her grandfather. Pop-Pop kissed her on the cheek and tickled her chin with his beard. So, are you ready to throw down in the kitchen tomorrow? Yes, sir. Bashirah hopped into her Jeddah's arms. The next morning, everyone was dressed and ready for Eid. Everyone looked beautiful walking up to the masjid. After the Eid prayer, Bashirah and her family returned home. Soon, the smell of fried chicken, sweet potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and green beans filled the house. She put on her apron and ran to the kitchen to help make the bean pie. The trick, Bashirah, Pop-Pop stood next to her at the counter while she poured ingredients into the blender, is to get the beans as smooth as you can. Not too much cinnamon and a dash of nutmeg. All right, time to put these in the oven. Pop-Pop placed the pie dishes on the rack and closed the door. Bashirah watched with excitement as the bean pie browned in the oven. It was turning out to be the best Eid ever. Time for prayer, called Dad. Everyone go make wudu. 3 generations of Muslims, aunts, uncles, cousins, and grandparents. all prayed together. After Salat, everyone sat down to eat. Bashirah ate and chatted until her belly was full. Bashirah, her mother called out to her in the kitchen after the meal, "Please, take this plate of food to Miss Johnson next door." She sent food to her neighbor every Eid because a Muslim must be kind and generous. Dad brought the desserts to the table: pound cake, ice cream, and Bashirah's very first bean pie. "Mashallah, this bean pie is amazing," Uncle Hassan licked his lips. "Who made it?" "Bashirah!" everyone exclaimed at once. When she arrived at school, Bashirah beamed as she walked in with her bean pie for Culture Day. It was terrific. Teacher Nafisa stood at the head of a long table full of dishes, each with a special flag showing the country it represented. "You see, children, there are Muslims all over the world, and Allah encourages us to get to know each other." She held a finger in the air. "Remember, neither our languages or heritages make us better than anyone else. Allah looks at our good deeds." Bashirah looked around at her classmates eating from plates filled with food from many different cultures, all of them extraordinary. Teacher Nafisa stood up and recited a verse from the Quran while the students finished their meals. "O mankind, indeed, we have made you into nations and tribes, that you may best know one another. Indeed, the noblest among you in the sight of Allah is the best in conduct." "Now," said Teacher Nafisa, "it's time for some of Bashirah's special dessert." The room filled with ooze. Everyone dug into the bean pie. All agreed it was one of the best things they ever tasted. Eid Mubarak. And then, as a special bonus, this book even has a recipe for bean pie at the end. How amazing is that? It's a book that also has a recipe in it. This is great. And I've been honored to be one of the readers for 12 Days of Togetherness this holiday season. Everyone have a great rest of your 2021. That's the year we're in, right? Yeah, everyone have a great rest of your 2021, and we'll see you next year.